This is the Big Deal Podcast, brought to you and powered by New Covenant Baptist Church in Albertville, Alabama. And on this podcast, we're asking the question, what's the big deal about all things Bible, theology, and culture? I'm Justin.
I'm Brad.
Welcome to the Big Deal. How you doing?
Super duper.
Like clockwork.
Like clockwork.
Yeah, super duper.
I am even Stevensies.
Yeah,
You know, I just stay on that plane of super duper.
You feeling good?
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your joints working okay?
Everything's,
old man?
Well, I do have a tennis elbow on my left arm.
Still.
Yeah.
You know how I know you have tennis elbow?
Because I always rub my elbow.
You talk about it
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. I have to share with somebody.
Yeah,
Well, it's not so bad today.
Oh, yeah?
But it's been
go work
weeks.
out. You'll come back.
Yeah, I know. It's, what happens is I almost get better.
Yeah,
And
then
then
you
I'm
go
like,
oh,
I
I'm
feel
fine.
like I can do pull day.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, I don't know.
And
if
I told you to take like 3 months off of it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you told me, but I can't do that.
Yeah, you need to.
I could be dead in 3 months. I need to go enjoy my workout. Yeah. It's so weird, like picking up a cup like this. Oh, no pain today.
Wow.
But if this weighed 1 pound, I would feel that 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. So if you're out there and you've had tennis elbow or it's other, what's the other? On the top, it's tennis elbow. On the bottom, I think they call it golfer elbow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the two different tendons or something. And if you ever see somebody with like a strap around their elbow,
I've seen that, yeah.
100% that's what they've got.
Yeah. Do you use one?
No, I tried it. I couldn't tell it was doing
It didn't
anything.
work, yeah.
So I was just
Yeah.
like, this is just uncomfortable for no reason.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So
I'm
if you've had it,
I don't have any issues.
Oh, they're coming. You don't. It just takes forever. Anytime you have like a tendon issue, not a lot of blood goes in your tendons.
Yeah.
They just take forever to heal.
They
Like,
take forever,
People with plantar fasciitis and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel for those folks, and
Yeah.
it just takes forever to get well.
Yeah, that's true.
I messed up a rotator cuff a little bit throwing a foster child in the air.
Actually, I can't. I do have it. I have
Ha!
my shoulders on upper motions, like anything.
Yeah.
I like throwing a ball. Like,
Yeah.
Golly, it is terrible.
Yeah.
Anything
What'd you
up
do?
Top, I don't know.
I think I hurt mine.
It's both of mine though.
Yeah.
It's anything up over the top. It's not good.
I had a chubby kid for a foster child. Can you say that on the line?
Yeah.
So you get in trouble for that? He was a good kid. He loved to be thrown into the air. And I loved to throw him. And I messed up my shoulder doing it one day. And that was years ago.
Straight up isn't a problem for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like lateral from up top.
Yeah.
It's like its throwing motions is just agony.
It's not agony. I just feel, I feel it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
I
explain
think
it.
there's probably like pine cones or something in my
Yeah, there's
shoulder
pine
blades.
cones.
Yeah,
it's probably
yeah.
a bone spurs or
yeah,
whatever
it
you call them
feels
things.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and
Everywhere
it
else I'm
takes
doing good,
takes
though.
a long time for that stuff to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry.
I got a question for you.
Yes. What is it?
All right. We were talking about books earlier. What are the handful of most influential books to you? What influenced you the most? Books.
In what regard? Because
Just
I've
period.
got different books that
It's
influence me.
just like period across the board.
Okay. Number one would be the first books I read.
Yeah.
And that was big boy books, I guess you'd say. I read the Elfstones of Shannara
Oh, Terry
when
Brooks.
I was about
Yeah.
12 years old, 11
Yeah.
years old. I had a cousin who's an aunt,
Mm-hmm.
right? That doesn't mean incest. In the South, what that means is if you have a cousin in Alabama, who is
He's older than you.
5 to 10 years older than you,
Yep.
you call them your aunt,
Yeah.
or we used to. And so I had this aunt who was a cousin, and she was reading some books. She was reading Pierce Anthony at the time, and nobody knows who that is. But he was also kind of a sci-fi / fantasy writer in
Kind
this
of
world.
satire.
Yes,
Yeah.
a satire, but I didn't know it was satire
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time. I was
Yeah,
too
yeah.
young. Where everybody born in this world has one magical power.
Yeah, yeah.
And it can be stupid
Uh-huh.
or it can be super powerful. And I need to go back and read those books
Mm-hmm.
because I bet they're super funny.
Yeah.
But she gave me Elfstones of Shannara. She was like, you would like this. And I'd never read a book before. My family, no shade, they're just not readers.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can read, but they just don't. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know them. I shouldn't say that. There are people in my immediate family, I don't know if they've ever read a book.
Period.
Ever. And there are lots of folks out there that never read a book. I can't understand it. Before this, all I had to read was like the back of cereal boxes. I read them. I read everything in front of me. Anyway, she gave me the Elf Songs of Shannara, and I read it and got in trouble because I would stay up all night with a flashlight reading this book. Scared me to death, too. And I don't know if you've ever read it, but it's got elves and demons breaking through into the world, and they've got to seal the rift, and it was like crazy. It's
Raymond Feist.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Raymond Feist was one of the next ones I picked up, which was A Magician's Apprentice. And, man, and so how did that influence me? It blew my creative mind, and it made me a lifelong reader.
Yeah.
And that is, without that, I'm not who I am.
That's the same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
It was, for me, it was The Time Machine, H.G. Wells.
Oh, yeah, I read that too. So we had these condensed classics. And after, I didn't realize they were condensed classics because I was so young. I didn't know there was more to the book.
Oh, yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah, I read the full ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I started with condensed classics.
Yeah.
Classics. Jules Verne.
Jules Verne. I read
he wrote The Time Machine.
H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells. That's what I meant.
Jules Verne wrote Center, or the
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
20,000 Leagues, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yes.
I read those after The Time Machine.
Same.
Yep.
That's really early fantasy sci-fi stuff.
It is, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Books. And so they just lit my imagination on fire.
Yeah.
And I actually think that may be the most important. Well, this is crazy. I don't know if I've ever said this out loud. Maybe the most important thing in maybe public speaking and ministry is if you don't have a creative imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you have to read. As if you want to be in ministry, you have to read. There's like, if you want to go to seminary, you definitely have to read. Like, and I think having that background of like of enjoying books, that I got from H.G. Wells and Raymond Feist, even like these like beach novel fantasy things, gave me the ability when I got to seminary and Bible college, I have to read all these books. It gave me like the joy to do so.
Yes.
Like I knew I would enjoy this.
Yeah.
Because I already liked reading.
I thought I would.
Yeah.
I found out that I like reading theology often way less than I like reading Terry Brooks.
Yeah.
But I got a little bit against Terry Brooks.
Yeah.
Because the Elfstone is actually the second book. The first one was called The Sword of Shannara,
That's
which
right.
of course I went back and read. And then it was The Druid of Shannara. And then there were like 50 Shannara books after that. And he wrote one called...
We used to read books out of order. Because that's just what you got.
Well, I also didn't know. There was no online stuff.
I know, right?
There was nothing, dude.
You couldn't look up, what's the first book of this?
And do you know, you had to drive to like Gadsden to get a book.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I know,
and their fantasy section might have been garbage.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's a Shannara book. You just grabbed it.
I'm from Central Alabama.
Yeah.
And so I remember driving to Alabaster
Yeah.
to the Books a Million there to see if anything new had come out.
Yes.
Like, because there was no online platform for that kind
None.
of stuff. And I just wanted to see if there's anything new,
Somebody might tell you, too. You might like have one nerd friend
I had
somewhere.
2 friends that read with me.
Every once in a while, they go to a bookstore and they'd be like, hey, man.
We would trade them off. We would like
Raymond Feist came out with another book. You'd be like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, and so anyway, So I read Sword of Shannara, Elfstone's Shannara, Druid of Shannara, and I was a massive fan. Oh my goodness, I loved it, and I need to go back and read those books maybe. But anyway, I'd never heard of Tolkien.
Yeah,
never. And so one of my buddies, I might have been in college, which is crazy, man. You just didn't have the information available. You didn't.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I was in the Army. It was a friend of mine. He was like, you need to read Tolkien, man. I was like, okay. So I read The Hobbit, and I was like, that was pretty good. And I started the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and I was like, this guy freaking ripped off Terry Brooks. Like, I literally thought that. And then I looked in the front of the book, and I was like, wait a minute.
It's written in the 40s.
Terry Brooks ripped off. He stole Tolkien's whole shtick.
Yeah.
And then I realized that all of fantasy literature almost
from the 70s to the 90s, almost every bit of it is just like right off the shoulders of the Lord of the Rings.
Yes, the entire Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Yep.
It
It's
came
all straight
of it,
from it. Yep.
Straight from it.
Yep.
So people don't realize that what is amazing about Tolkien is he invented a genre pretty much on
Pretty
accident.
Pretty much. There's some precursors.
Yeah.
But he was the famous one. He got famous and put it out there.
Yeah, he did. And so that's like one of the, I guess
That's one of your influence. What's some other major book influences? Yeah. Besides, you can't say the Bible. That's obvious. Yeah.
Obvious. So yeah, I thought that from the jump.
Yeah.
That's too obvious. Books that changed me. So I'm trying to think of some books I read when I first became a Christian that might have like did some stuff for me. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I read A.W. Pink. Somebody gave me The Sovereignty of God.
Sovereignty of God.
That messed me up for 25 years. Then 9 Marks of a Healthy Church.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
One of the best books. Not necessarily just influential to me, but like how to teach people about church.
Oh, yeah.
Is a great book.
That's a good one.
And one of it's not really a partner book, but right along with it, Trellis and the Vine. Fantastic book about the difference between administrating a church and having a living vine.
Yeah.
Those are two different things
Yeah.
that have to happen,
Yeah.
both of them. And that if you're not careful, not if you're not careful, but the natural tendency is to become admin heavy and not people heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You get so many programs that you don't care about people.
Yeah.
Because actually programs are easier than people.
Oh, way easier.
And so that's that's the general tendency of the church.
Yeah.
And then, or any organization really.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, Desiring God.
Oh, that was a big one for you.
Yeah, but you got to think about back in the day, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is like 25 years ago.
I
actually think Future Grace is a better book.
Oh yeah, I read Desiring God, but I already knew Desiring God before I read it.
Yeah,
because I'd already been exposed to John Piper and everything.
Here's the thing, man. By the time you came along, that's the water which he poured into the church.
It was
mainstream. It had permeated all the waters.
It was. Yeah.
When I read it, back in the Young, Restless, and Reformed era, it's another book that really shook up a lot of people. I don't know what happened, but somehow, like Reformed Calvinistic theology just got injected into evangelicalism, and I'm not sure why.
Crossway.
Crossway.
I think it's Crossway Publishers.
Yeah.
They started publishing Calvinists out of
may he rest in peace. John MacArthur was huge in that.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the first big radio, which is crazy. It was radio.
Yeah.
Radio preachers that did expository preaching.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that in my life. I'd never heard any expositor ever.
Mm-hmm.
There were no expositors, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think about.
That's so wild.
And so MacArthur is expositing, chapter by chapter, verse by verse, revolutionizing how people thought, well, we're not just supposed to preach topics? What in the world? And so then I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. The best preachers were Reformed preachers.
Oh, yeah.
They were the best. They were the best pulpiteers. I'm not saying they were the best people.
Yeah.
But, man, they were crushing some sermons. Mm-hmm. And they got online because the internet started up. Mm-hmm. And John Piper rose all Reformed tides. He brought them up because he gave his stuff away.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He gave it away.
It's all free, yeah.
It's all free.
Yeah.
And
Tim Keller is super influential.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't give it away for free, though.
No. John Piper did.
Yeah.
Crazy. Not crazy, but just like, I meant crazy the influence.
Yeah. Tim Keller didn't give it away for free because his tradition, they buy and sell sermons in the Presbyterian Church.
Well, everybody, what do you mean?
In the Presbyterian.
What do you mean buy and sell sermons?
You can, it's way more normative to purchase a sermon in a PCA church.
Like to preach?
Yes.
What?
You didn't know this?
I had never heard this.
Oh my goodness!
Are you serious?
Yes. There's whole websites to purchase sermons.
What?
Yeah. It's very.
Here I've been writing my sermons.
Well, in the Baptist world, it's like, man, you just don't do that.
No.
It's not play. You would walk up and say, "Hey, this is a sermon by Tim Keller
I'll be
that I'm
gone.
gonna preach to you because it is what I want to say.
Well,
about-
in the Baptist tradition, you just stole it and didn't tell anybody.
yeah,
But now you can't get away with
but
it.
they purchased them, right? So like
Yeah.
the Tim Keller library
Mhm.
of sermons, like you had to purchase sermons out of it, and now they're opening them up now. Now he's passed and whatnot.
Hmm.
But, you know,
How
some
about that?
influential books for me.
Well, you used to have to do that
Yeah.
too from John MacArthur and stuff. You had to
Oh, yeah.
order the cassettes. The
Oh.
cassettes and his sermons
Yeah.
would come in,
Yeah,
and then he at some point he started giving his away too.
Okay.
I think Piper's influence maybe.
Yeah,
We were like,
podcasting
whoa.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like we can't sell these anymore,
Yeah.
anyways. Yeah.
I remember a book that rocked my world. It was a biography of Thomas Oden. Do you know who Thomas Oden is?
Yes, I think so. Was he a Puritan pastor, evangelist?
No, he was a Methodist pastor
Yeah.
in like the 80s, 90s. He taught at Purdue.
No, I don't know.
He was liberals all get out.
Oh.
As and it's a story about how he started reading the patristics, the earliest writers in Christianity, and he went right.
I think
he
that
converted
this
to
sounds
a
familiar.
conservative. I can't remember what denomination he ended up landing in. I can't remember. It's been years since I read that book. But he converted to a conservative denomination, orthodoxy, left liberalism, and it's like it was a fascinating story. Rocked my world because it's the only time I'd ever experienced someone read about him not take a left turn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they took right turns and they grounded themselves in the tradition. So I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah,
I had another.
I'm looking at all
yeah,
my
your book.
massive tomes up here.
All mine are on my computer.
The Pentateuch is narrative shaped how I understand the Old Testament.
Do you know who John Walton is?
Was he John Boy's daddy?
No.
That's the Waltons. It's
Yeah.
an old TV
Okay.
show. Good night, John Boy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, John Walton. He's a guy at Wheaton, but he wrote a book. He wrote a lot of books. What was it called? The Lost World of Adam and Eve.
Oh.
And the Lost World of Genesis 1. And when he helped me out a lot to not see the creation story as like or the 7-day literal creation as the fundamentalist kind of like if you don't have that, you're not
yeah,
Christian.
you didn't
kind
know
of
there were other choices.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And he was the first one to kind of expose that.
And still be a Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, R.C. Sproul's Chosen by God, I think it's...
That was good
one.
for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one. That was when I was trying to figure out Romans 9
Yeah.
because I messed around and read the Bible.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah.
mess you up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to... We can't use the Bible as the most influential, but it's clearly the most influential.
Well, all those things are pointing at the Bible.
Yeah. So
you know?
I'm trying to think of other books that really are...
Oh man, C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy.
Joe, it helped
Golly.
me none. I hated
That was all these are great recommendations for you.
You know,
right?
another
You guys could read
yeah,
this.
you should read that.
Yeah.
What is the J.I. Packer book? It's kind of an intro to theology. What is the name of that book? Gosh.
J.I. Packer's a wonderful dude.
Yes.
Yeah, he's passed. now.
Oh man, it should be required
I'm
reading
looking
for
at
new Christians.
J.I. Packer. Which one?
I'm
Knowing God.
Knowing God.
Yep.
Yes.
That one.
I couldn't
that
get
is
knowledge of the holy out of
Yeah,
my head.
yeah.
That's another pink book that is
Knowing God is great.
Knowing God is fantastic. I only have one caveat.
We had to read that when I was in Bible
Yeah,
college.
there-
That was one of ours.
in that whole book, there's only one thing I disagree with him.
Oh, was it?
He is a very big no image of Jesus person.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
yeah. What do they call that?
Second Commandment Christian?
Violation.
No images.
Yeah. Second Commandment
I
violation.
actually feel like that skirts low heresy to say you can't draw a picture of Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Well, they say he's God and you can't make images of God, and it's like, dude, and there is a almost 2,000 year fuss about this.
Yeah.
The iconoclast versus the iconodules. That is people who love icons, people who think you shouldn't have them.
Yeah.
And the argument was Jesus is God, and therefore, since he's God, you violate the image statute. Don't make any images of God by drawing Jesus. And the flip side of the argument is he's a man, and therefore we can draw him.
Yeah.
And not that people are going to like shoot each other anymore over it or something, but like you can't use images of Jesus in worship because you become an idolater. They're so scared of idolatry that you can't use icons in worship.
It's a pretty silly Reformed thing that happens sometimes.
Well, it's not just Reformed. It was happening in 300
I know,
AD.
but now it's a Reformed thing.
Yes,
right?
it is. In 300 AD, they would put up their icons, and then the iconoclasts would come in and burn them down.
Yeah.
So they had an entire church council about it. An entire church council. They had to call the church, and they're like, you can use icons.
Mm-hmm. It's
helpful. And what's funny is the fact that we still have all these churches like, you can't draw pictures. You can't, these doggone Catholics worshiping these images of saints and Mary and Jesus, bunch of idolaters. And then you look at the stained glass window in the Baptist church, and it's like Jesus kneeling down in the garden to pray. And it's like, hey, man, that's an icon. They're like, shut up, it's just stained glass. You won't see that in a Presbyterian church.
That's right.
Yeah, so I actually side with icon deals. I think icons are fine. I don't push them. You can do whatever you want. But if you've got a picture of Peter in your house crucified upside down, it reminds you that you're a slothful Christian and you haven't paid that price.
What if you have a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi hanging on your wall and everyone thinks it's Jesus?
I think that's well played. Why? But people do this. Like, I have a.
It's not what Jesus looked like.
Shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. Like you go to any young man in college. Okay, go to his room. He's probably gonna have posters of like his favorite movies and stupid anime posters, or like Star Wars posters or whatever. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. They're sports guys. Or like if they're a sports guy, they may have a poster of Mike Trout or somebody. It's like, that guy's the best baseball player ever. Yeah. And you just be like, oh, that's cool. This is what young guys do. This is what young people do. Who cares? But if they put up a pic and they emulate, like, I want to be a basketballer like Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. We used to have this poster of Michael Jordan when he won the dunk competition from jumping from the free throw line and the stretch and his tongue's out. It's awesome, dude. Yep. And if I saw that in the young guys' room, I'd be like, sweet. Yep. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if he put up a picture of Jesus in the garden kneeling, you'd be like, what is this idolatry? You understand what's going on when you're looking at this picture of Michael Jordan, right? Yeah. You understand that he's like, and there are things he could learn from Michael Jordan. Yeah. Like if he would put into practice the dedication, hard work, and general narcissism.
We need more pictures of Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, you're worshiping it. And I think there's something to the argument, well, I'm being a heretic and going to get fired, to this idea of, in Latin, what is it, dulia and latria.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so what that is, dear listener, is there are different kinds of worship.
Yeah.
Right? And there is worship that is due to people in their office.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there is worship reserved only for God.
Yeah.
And if you can't understand those two distinctions, you're going to have trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. You when the Bible says render honor to whom honor is due, if you saw what the early Christians thought about that, you might think it's worship because they would call them my Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the words are similar.
They might even kneel in front of them and kiss their ring.
The word worship in English has developed a meaning to be only religious
or only to God. Yeah.
Only it's a religious meaning, but that's not the root of what that meant. Right? It's like a word about honor, giving worth to something. Lots of things have worth.
Yes. Right? If you went back to the 2nd century and you said in their language, should children worship their fathers? And everybody would say, yes, of course.
Yeah, because they are worthy.
They are worthy of the honor that their children should give them. And in fact, if they don't, oh my goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they'd say, should they worship him like God? They'd be like, no, what does the matter with you?
Yeah, that's right.
Of course they should.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we don't use it that way. And I think part of that is our radical individualism and our culture of self-worship.
Yeah.
You can't ascribe worth to anything other than your own opinion.
Sometimes we read the Bible on this podcast.
So there are church history books out there that were influential.
Oh, you're still talking about books. Right on. Yeah. Cool, yeah.
Well, Dulia and Latria, all this stuff is from books
that
I'm talking about. And
okay, you should read books, people.
Yeah,
they're good for you.
It's not books, but like if you just talk about things you've read, the 7 church councils are huge. Yeah. The Council of Nicaea, if you don't know about that as a Christian, dang. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless almost.
Most people don't. That.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
They don't even know in 325 the entire church got together right after the persecution, and that the emperor of Rome himself showed up because he's like, hey, let's get this thing codified so, we can know who the Christians are and who they aren't.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that happened.
Yeah.
And that's where the big deal they were getting there.
Big deal?
The big deal of that whole meeting was, yay, the emperor's not trying to kill us anymore. And there were hundreds of pastors who showed up. They were so excited. It was the first Together for the Gospel. It was in 325 AD in the Council of Nicaea.
Funny. That's true.
It's true, though.
That's a good way to put
so
it.
they all came together for the gospel, and they were like, we're going to get along. And there were
First Bible
people.
conference.
There were people there who had been put in prison by Roman emperors and tortured.
Yeah.
And they came, and here comes Constantine, and they're like,
we ain't gonna do that no more.
we're not going to do that anymore. We recognize you as a official religion of the empire. The emperor is even going to pretend to be a Christian a little bit. Sometimes he's going to pretend to be a pagan sometimes because he's a politician, right? And they got together, and they thought it was going to be a big party. And then this jerk shows up named Arius, and he says, hey, guys, just so you know, Jesus isn't God. And they were like, what the crap is going on?
Yeah.
You're embarrassing us in front of the emperor.
We should get together more often, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
their thing is,
Yeah,
we got to correct you.
That was the
Yeah.
one Santa Claus attended.
Yeah, that's right.
People
Saint
don't know that.
Nicholas,
St. Nicholas was a dude who was a bishop from Turkey, and what is modern day Turkey? It was not then. It was part of the Roman Empire, and he shows up, and these Arians are going around saying that Jesus isn't God, and he punched a guy. He punched another bishop. The guy was like, Jesus isn't God, and he was like, I'm here to give out presents and smack heretics, and he smacked him, and he got censured.
Yep.
But the Council of Nicaea was huge because they said, well, guys, I guess we need to deal with this.
Yeah.
So what are we going to say about Jesus? And
There you go.
apparently,
Yeah.
Constantine, because they were arguing about whether he is the same substance as the Father, Jesus, the same substance as the Father, which the substance being deity, God, is he a similar substance or is he a different substance?
Yeah.
And the Arians said he's different. And they were like, no, he's not. And only two of the bishops there thought Jesus was whatever, not God.
not
and
God,
those guys got kicked out.
You're out.
You're out.
You're gone.
And so they apparently Constantine said, well, homoousios, which means homo meaning same, and ousios meaning substance. Some people want to say homoousios, which means similar substance, and they're like, nope, he's either God or he
Don't
ain't.
work. Yep.
So it's homoousios, and that's 325 AD, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn that from books.
From books.
Y'all should read books.
Yes, you should read
If you ever
books.
want recommendations, you can just you can like click the little 15 behind, 30 minutes or 30 seconds behind or whatever your app is. You can go back and listen to all these book references we just gave you. And you can listen and read those books.
That's like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I have read a lot of books.
Yeah.
But it does wear your soul.
Yeah.
The Bible warns about that in Ecclesiastes.
I read almost only fiction now.
You know what?
I don't read much nonfiction.
Me too.
I try to read 3 or 4 a year.
But
That's
I
about
think, man, it may have been C.S. Lewis. I can't remember what
Yeah.
book he says this in. But he says you should read a hard book, like a theology book, and then follow it with a fun book.
Yeah.
You
I
should
do
do
that
fun,
for sure.
and then-
Mine are mostly fun these days.
But I jammed it for
Yeah.
like 10 years with only difficult books.
yeah.
And what begins to happen, and this is true in any. Can I speak like a crazy person right now?
Speak like a crazy person.
When you reach a level, I would say, of expertise, and I'm not saying I know everything, but I would say I'm probably an expert.
You're saying you know everything.
Yes, I would say I'm an expert
prideful
in
fool.
biblical theology. You think that's fair?
I think you're an expert in. It depends on what you mean by that.
Yeah. What? Oh, tell me what you think.
Because like G.K. Beale is an expert in biblical theology.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the same.
No.
Like you're an.
Do it like a do it.
I would
like,
say you're an expert pastor by now.
Yeah.
You'd say that.
I'm
Yeah.
an expert pastor.
Yeah.
I would say like if you rank it like martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably like a brown belt in theology. G.K.
Yeah.
Bill's a black belt.
That's right,
He
yeah.
would beat me up
Yeah.
in a theological duel. but the average citizen's going to get the whooping, right? And I don't think every pastor's you can't have black belts and everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have a level of expertise. When you reach a certain level of expertise and you start reading stuff, you realize that everybody's just saying the same things over and over.
That's right.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And so it gets harder and harder to read theology because, I mean, once you've read...
we have a closed canon.
we have a closed canon.
It's been said.
Yes.
You know?
And once you've read Louis Berkhof's systematic theology, and then you've read Boyce's theology, and you've read Robert Raymond's theology, and you've read Erickson's theology, and you've read Wayne Grudem's theology, and you've read Michael Horton's theology.
Those are all the positions multiple times over.
You've
heard them all
And so
already.
if I were to pick it up and try to read it right now, I would be like, I've read this.
You would say, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
and every once in a while I'd be like, oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be like, I've never heard this before in my life.
That's right.
So it gets
Yeah.
harder when you reach a certain level of expertise. But the beauty of
You know what keeps on giving?
What?
The sci-fi genre, though.
Yeah. Well,
That's why I
it
keep reading
reminds you
sci-fi.
of you that all sci-fi is theological, and that they're playing around, they're monkeying around with
there
the
are
imago
big-
Dei,
There
the
are
image
big
of God.
ideas. Yeah.
So like,
We're like 30 minutes in. We still haven't talked about
well,
that
just
yet.
forget
Yeah.
that then.
Yeah,
This
we
is
need to
more
get-
funner.
We do need to get there, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
one more thing.
All right, one more thing.
About
Yeah.
sci-fi,
All right.
or like Star Wars or anything that you're dealing with. I think a lot of the stuff that they're pushing 30 years ago in sci-fi is real junk we have to deal with now. They saw the future.
Oh, yeah.
It's like AI. Look,
Oh, dude. 2001 Space Odyssey.
yeah, the Terminator.
It's a real thing, dude.
Yeah. Not that it's going to turn into Skynet. Everybody makes that joke, but like the sci-fi guys, the best one and women, are they see the beginnings of stuff, and they're like, "Hey, what are we gonna do when AI is so good that it's smarter than us?"
Yeah.
And they kind of go on a creative riff right on that, and it's legit. Like you look at old Star Trek from the 60s, and they're basically walking around with cell phones talking back to the bridge.
Yeah.
And Captain Kirk, and scanners and iPads.
Yeah.
And they had all of those things. It was all imagination then. And now it's real.
Yeah.
And so what they've been dealing with the past 15 years is this idea of transhumanism.
Yeah.
All these movies you watch that you love, where there's like cyborgs and there are people who are part cyborgs. I just saw an advertisement for Predator Badlands, and one of the I guess she'll be the heroine of the book is basically a mash of cyborg and human, and so they're asking the question: how many parts can you replace and still be a human being?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so and that's theological.
Yeah. So let's look at the Bible. Okay, Deuteronomy. We're in Deuteronomy. We've gotten all the way down to chapter basically 18, but we're going to talk about this part here right before 18 about a king, right? They don't have kings yet,
No,
right? There's no kings, and this is
not in Israel.
Not in Israel.
Yeah.
And this is the expectation that they will one day probably want a king. What is funny to me about this is when you get into Samuel and you're reading about the selection of the first king with Saul and then David.
Saul's one of my favorite characters in the whole Bible.
Choosing a king is seen as a very bad thing.
Yes.
But this is preemptive. He's telling them up front, like, when he says in verse 14, when you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you, take possession of it, live in it, and say, I will set a king over me like all the nations around me. You are to appoint over you the king the Lord your God chooses. Appoint a king from your brothers. You're not to set a foreigner over you or one who is not of your people. And so they assume this is going to happen. They're going to, even though God assumes it's going to happen, that they're going to want this, even though it's still viewed negatively. And maybe even some of the details about that are coming next about the king are kind of negative, though, too, aren't they? He says in verse 16, however, he must not acquire many horses for himself or send the people back to Egypt to acquire many horses. What's the deal about horses?
That's a great question. Maybe, I don't know.
Probably war.
War, probably war, or I don't know.
Because you're never to go back that way again, is what he says.
Yeah.
He must not acquire many wives for himself so that his heart won't go astray.
Oopsie.
Yep. He must not acquire very large amounts of silver or gold for himself. When he is seated on his royal throne, he is to write a copy of this instruction, the law, right, for himself on a scroll in the presence of the Levitical priests. It is to remain with him, and he is to read from it all the days of his life, so that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, to observe all the words of this instruction, and to do these statutes. Then his heart will not be exalted above his countrymen. He will not turn from this command to the right or the left, and he and his sons will continue reigning many years in Israel. So I think the interesting thing about that is when we talk about hyperlinks sometimes in the rest of the Bible, looking back into to something in the Torah, and this is one of them. Like every one of the kings you read about in whether it's David or Saul, David, Solomon, and all the ones who follow, they are breaking these things.
Yeah, the Deuteronomy baseball.
Yeah, that's right.
They strike out every time.
They do. They strike out.
I mean, some of the times when you're reading it, it's like, did they write this before or after Solomon? And that's why a lot of scholarship, as liberal scholars, this was written after the reign of the kings to justify why they failed. Like instead of saying God was preemptively warning kings, that they sort of filled in for them. After the fact and made it look prophetic.
I think it was prophetic though.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it was. I think some of the I just got a weird text, but anyway, sorry. Some of the that gave me such a mind fart on it. Like it's gone. Like whatever I was thinking before, it's completely gone.
You were gonna say it's prophetic. And then you lost it.
It's prophetic, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you weren't being prophetic. You were being pathetic after that.
That was pathetic. Golly, that just wiped my brain completely.
Isn't that
just
crazy?
Wiped it out. Yeah.
Just jumped the track, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It was a text about the men's group thing tonight, and I couldn't like understand the words in the order that they were in. I don't know. It's really weird.
Well, I'll look at it later. I want my brain to go. Yeah. So what's you were talking earlier? We'll just go back to about appointing a king in Israel and how Samuel's like, don't do that.
Yeah, he said this is bad. He said you don't want God as your king if you do this.
Yeah. Now let's talk about that a second. Does that mean that what Samuel said is true?
That's the question, right?
Now here's the thing. What was Samuel?
He was a prophet,
and he's the last judge.
He was the last judge.
He was kind of the king of Israel at the time.
That's right.
And he got his feelings hurt. Straight up, got his feelings hurt that they wanted a king. And he was like, what am I, chopped liver?
Yeah.
Because they, this anticipates the fact that they're going to get a king. We have to have a king.
Yeah.
It's been talked about since Genesis forever ago.
That's right.
That there's going to come to be a king in Israel. He's coming from the tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
And that to him will be the obedience of all people.
Jesse,
So God was clearly cranking this thing up to have a king.
Yeah.
And then you go and you read Samuel. He's like, if you get a king, man, he's going to tax you. He's going to take your sons and go to war. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be bossing y'all around, and you're rejecting God as your king.
Yep.
And it's like, maybe, a little bit they were, but that doesn't mean they're asking for a king was bad.
Yeah.
And God says, give him a king, Samuel. He does say they didn't reject you,
and God chose the king.
Yeah, he
did. Chose Saul.
But he told Samuel, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me as king over Israel.
Yeah.
And it's like, does that mean they shouldn't ask for king? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
God could have been telling Samuel, "Hey, man, cool your jets a little bit, bro."
I mean, the Lord knows the writing.
This
is
the theologically. As you think about this, this is and everybody listen. This is the danger. I don't know about danger. This is the trick of reading narrative, not as formative theology. So what you can do is you can read the words of Samuel and think, what the Bible's recording of what he's saying is 100% true and not wrong.
Yeah.
Or that it's formative for the rest of Israel.
Yeah.
It could be that Samuel is partially upset because you forgot about in Deuteronomy, it said they're supposed to have a king. The fact that if they don't have a king in Israel, where's Jesus coming from?
Yeah.
They got to have the king, man.
Yep.
And so you anytime you're reading narrative, I'm not saying you can't build theology on narrative, but you need to have a little more perspective of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like when
the Bible will quote narrative and with the expectation that you can see that what they're saying is wrong.
or
right and wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like that, it will say wrong things because the person saying it is wrong.
Yes,
It's
and they're faithful, and that's part of the.
That's a story. That's
part
normal.
of the story.
That's how
Yes.
the world works. The narrative
Yes.
works. So it gets confusing though if you approach the Bible without appreciating that it is a recorded story.
You need to. I guess what I should say. The big deal of that is you need to realize what kind of genre you're in, because the Bible has a lot of genres. It has narrative. It has didactic, which would be, we would maybe simply say teaching passages where it's like, this is what you need to do.
Yeah,
it's not a story.
Prescriptive,
prescriptive,
and descriptive.
Yeah, like there's a big difference between reading the Ten Commandments and reading what happens in Acts.
Yeah,
there's different things. And for example, what do you do with the Jerusalem Council at the end where it says, "Don't eat stuff with the blood in it"?
You don't eat stuff with blood in it.
Is that formative for the rest of Christian history?
They said don't do it.
They said don't do it.
That's actually a pretty prescriptive.
It is prescriptive.
Part of Acts. So.
But was it for them, or was that for all time? You can't eat blood pudding.
I don't know.
Because they eat blood pudding in Scotland still.
I think they probably shouldn't.
Oh my goodness! See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got to help you with narrative.
Yeah, I'm fine with the blood pudding being you probably shouldn't do that.
But Paul, right? So Paul would say, don't fuss at Justin too much about the blood pudding thing.
Yeah.
But if he goes to Scotland and he starts giving them brothers a hard time about it, you tell him to shut up. Let them eat their pudding. Yeah. And so they're still forming, the theology of the early church is still forming in those narratives. And so just because the Jerusalem Council said it, and it's like, but now it's in the Bible.
Be real. Blood pudding sounds terrible. That sounds totally disgusting.
I mean,
oh my God. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh. It looks like a little hunk of death.
What was the other thing they prescribed there? No blood pudding and
give to the poor. Remember the poor.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to do that.
Don't sacrifice the idols.
Yeah. What was it?
Something else. I can't remember. So in narrative, you have to think about, what are we prescribing here?
One of the things that's very interesting in that passage about the king is how the king is supposed to write down the law. They're supposed to make their own copy of the Torah.
Yes.
And read it a bunch and stuff.
Yes, they're supposed to copy it themselves.
Does anyone ever do that?
We were never told they did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a recorded thing.
I would say maybe.
Actually, I think there is a moment with David and Solomon with that, or one of them.
But you got to remember also, they came into the land. It was hundreds of years before they got a king, probably.
Yeah. Here's the Jerusalem Council thing that we just said. Abstain from eating meat sacrificed to idols, consuming blood, eating the meat of strangled animals, and engaging in sexual immorality.
Yeah. So 2 or 3 of those.
Are like, of course, we do not do those things, right?
Wait, no? What are
sexual immorality?
That's a definite.
You're not doing that.
Can you eat food sacrificed to idols, though?
I think that
Paul said you could.
Paul says you can, but you probably ought not to, basically.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
But see,
I know, right?
But if you took it at prescriptive here, then.
But why is it sexual immorality sitting there? You know what I mean? It's like that one is we're still on that boat. And don't eat the meat of strangled animals. I wonder what that means. I have no idea what that means.
That means they choked them to death instead of bleeding them out.
Yeah, but why is it important?
Because the blood would still be in the meat.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you slaughter a pig, and
they were not dressing it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they were saving the blood for food or whatever, or they wanted it in there. But would you say now? Oh, it's a sin. It is a sin every time to eat food from a strangled animal.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want the blood still be in it. That's
but I mean, that's also, I don't want to eat a dog.
You've never, no one has ever
Some of it's food
bought
taboo.
meat at the store has ever bought a piece of meat that didn't have the blood drain from it, right?
Not in America.
Not in America, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how you dress an animal, right?
Yeah. But I wouldn't say, hey, man, they're eating food over there. It's a sacrifice to idols, those Christians. And I'd be like, so what? They'd be like, well, Jerusalem Council said. But, we have – but in order to build this theology, it's like, what is the deal? Well, sexual immorality is in there. Yeah, but we get other updates on that.
Yeah.
And we get updates on the food sacrificed to idols. In Corinthians, Paul says, look, it's okay.
Guys, blood pudding looks disgusting. Don't do that because it's terrible.
Yeah, it's a food taboo for Justin. He don't want no bloody soup.
I don't want blood nothing.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Would you eat a dog?
If I was hungry enough.
Yeah, I'd eat blood too if I was hungry enough.
Yeah.
What if
But
you had
that's terrible, though.
Yes,
That's
yeah. I know, but it doesn't mean it's a sin. It just means it's gross.
You might be a little sinful.
That's like it's not. Is it sinful to fart in a crowded elevator?
Yes.
It's a sin against God?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. You're such a legalist.
I am.
Okay,
when
what
it comes to farting in an elevator,
What if
I'm
it's
a legalist.
what if it's a bunch of boy students in high school? Is it still a sin just to fart on those kids?
Yeah.
It ain't.
Like you're done.
Yeah.
It's over. No grace. I'm just kidding, obviously.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, though. When you read stuff in narrative, you need to slow down a little bit because I would say Deuteronomy is prescriptive. This is like, what are you going to do? This is how your king's got to be. And so we jump over to Genesis 49. We know that the king's coming, and we have to have a king because to him it's going to belong the obedience of all the people. And that is riffing on the promise that goes all the way back to Eve, that somebody's coming to crush the head of Satan and destroy sin for all time. And it's going to be a king, and it's going to be from the tribe of Judah. And if there's no David, there's no Jesus.
Yeah.
And so Samuel, I take Samuel's warnings with a slight grain of salt because what he's saying is true, but it might be a little bit sour grapes. Because they can't not have a king. They've got to have one.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing about the Bible and narrative.
Tell me the other thing about the Bible and narrative.
You can have people ask for the right thing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, you can.
And so they asked for a king because they did reject God.
Yeah.
But they could have asked for a king in a way that pleased God.
Yeah, they could have asked for a king because we know that you are going to be you're going to rule over all these nations, and you're going to have a unique relationship.
Or if they just came to him and said, "Hey, Sammy," Samuel, that's what they call him.
Boy.
Hey, Sammy, we were just copying our Bibles as the Lord said, and we got to Deuteronomy 18, and it said we're supposed to have a king, bro.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why we keep getting in all this trouble. Like every time a judge dies, we just go nuts and live our own way.
We should have a king.
We've got no centralized government.
So that we can honor the Lord.
Yeah,
right?
so
they could have said that. They didn't.
Yeah, but if they did, God would have been like, oh, man.
What a good boy.
I'm going to give them the best king.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them a turd king to start.
Yeah.
Because he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Although
they're all, yeah.
Dude, I love Saul.
Yeah. We'll talk about Saul when we get there.
Yeah.
Hold your horses, man.
Hold my horses. We got 75.
So we get later on in 18, he tells them about some of the things they're going to see in the land and things that they're supposed to avoid from these other nations. And they're kind of interesting. No one among you is to sacrifice his son or daughter in the fire, right? We've already talked about that, right? That's already been
Those are one of those things, man, in the law.
Hey, look, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
that's one of the things in the law. You
Yeah.
read that, and you're like, why does he say that?
Well, he's saying because he says, "Do not imitate the detestable customs."
Well,
of
what I'm
nations."
saying, he has to say it because people do it.
Because they would do it, yeah. And he's giving him a glimpse of like these are things you're going to see. There.
When he tells them, like, don't sleep with animals, don't have sexual relations with animals, it's detestable and you should die. It's like, why do you got to say that?
Because they were doing it.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah. There's some other ones. Practicing divination, tell fortunes, interpret omens, practice sorcery, cast spells, consult a medium or a spiritist, or inquire of the dead.
So, does that stuff work? Can you cast spells and be a sorcerer?
Apparently.
Yeah. Spooky, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like. It ain't
demons.
It's not Harry Potter stuff, I'll tell you that.
No, it's not Harry Potter stuff.
No, it's more like
all of this stuff was related to their religious practices, right? And the worship of their demons that they think are gods that are actually demons.
Yeah, I think this is terrible, but there's a whole universe kind of based on this stuff. Well, maybe the First Law series does it in fantasy a little bit. All magic in that place turns out to be dark and evil. Like the only reason it works is because you're dealing with demons.
Yeah.
And same in the Conan universe, really.
Oh, yeah.
Like magic users there are basically bargaining with devils.
Yeah.
And so magic is always bad because it comes
Yeah.
from an evil place.
That is our world.
Yes, that's
Like,
what he's
that's
talking about.
Actually, that's like if you ever look into the scriptures and like you see the use of this stuff, it's always going to be bad. It's always going to be sinful. Like why? I like Harry Potter. Why is stuff like that sinful? It's not that Harry Potter is sinful. It's that the actual practice of it in our world, the only way that happens is with consultation with demons.
Yes.
And
some kind of weird spirit stuff.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter is saying nonsense Latin words.
That's right.
And
It's Latin
making
words
zaps.
and having the right mentality in your
Yeah,
mind, right?
it's not
and
it's not
playing
the,
with a stick.
It's
right?
not the same thing.
It's not. That's fiction and fun.
Yeah.
This is I have a deal with a malevolent spiritual entity.
And even though they may not know it, like I'm divining through Baal, or I'm divining through Molech or whatever.
Yeah.
Those were demonic
Yeah.
entities.
That are seeking the destruction of people.
Even the person that's bargaining with them.
Yes.
It's like
you think you're doing better because you've split open a squirrel and you're digging around the entrails and like this is going to help you, like and the answers in that are going to help you.
Some of it was just nonsense.
Yeah.
Right. Not everything was actual magic.
Yeah.
It just you get killed just for the attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they weren't actually divining squat.
No.
But they were putting their hope and trust in the future in some silly superstition.
Yeah. We know that some of it worked, though.
Yes.
And that it was...
we got some moments like what
there are
just
some
happened.
moments, yeah.
Witch of Endor.
Witch of Endor is one of the big ones in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
You have the magicians with Moses in the court. And you have some of the guys that they meet in the book of Acts that are sorcerers as the gospel starts rolling around the Mediterranean Sea.
And there was a demonic girl who was predicting the future.
Yeah.
And when the demon was cast out, she became a Christian.
Yeah.
They were upset because she could no longer predict the future.
Yeah.
And so apparently some stuff she was doing worked.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
It wouldn't work afterwards.
Yeah, that's right.
And so
some of those things work. They work because they're evil. Right. And so it's like they don't actually work at all.
No.
They destroy. They're destroying her. They're destroying her. They're destroying the person.
That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
And really they're only doing these predictive things so that you will not trust in God.
Yeah, you're not going to come out on top bargaining with a demon.
No, he's tricking you.
Yeah, like the Gospels are clear that when demonic influences are present, they cause disability and disease and
They're
destruction.
con men.
Yeah.
They're con men. They're doing things that you think look like magic, but it's not magic at all. It's
and
just
Satan is behind it all.
Yeah,
right?
so they're just manipulating stuff.
So that's why,
it's like pulling a coin out behind a little kid's ear.
Yeah.
He thinks you pulled a coin out.
The people who are into this in our world today are pagans. They're what do they call them? They have a word. The modern witch movement. What do they call that?
Wiccan.
Wiccan. Yeah.
That's in America.
Yeah. It is like idol worship, demon, satanic, weird stuff. Okay. That's what it is. And if they ever have an experience that they feel like is supernatural in some sort, it's not a positive deal there. Okay.
Just keep your eyes on me. That's what the demon wants.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on me.
100%. Yeah.
So that I can strike you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's they'll be like, why would I trust in God? I've never seen anything powerful in God, but I'm a Wiccan, and this thing told me the future, or it helped me, and I got well because I had this healing crystal.
Yeah, and you're going to spend an eternity in hell.
Yeah.
Because your eyes are on him.
Yes, exactly.
The next part of this passage is one that echoes through the rest of the Old Testament and into the New Testament. It is a future prophecy, a futuristic prophecy that the Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me, like Moses, from among your own brothers. And this is one of the messianic prophecies. Okay, the ones, not all prophecy is future telling, but this one is. This is one that's saying there is going to come a person who is like Moses, and you must listen to him, is what he says. This is what you requested from the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly when you said, let us not continue to hear the voice of the Lord our God or see this great fire any longer so that we will not die. Then the Lord said to me, they have spoken well. I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their brothers. I will put my words in his mouth, and he will tell them everything I command him. I will hold accountable whoever does not listen to my words that he speaks in my name. When the prophet who presumes to speak a message in my name that I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet must die. You may say to yourself, how can we recognize a message the Lord has not spoken? When the prophet speaks in the Lord's name and the message does not come true or is not fulfilled, that is a message the Lord has not spoken. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Do not be afraid of him.
Do not be afraid of him.
Yeah.
How many false prophets today keep people afraid?
That's true.
That's like 101.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
But when you say the Lord told me to tell you, you're trying to scare somebody.
Yeah. And if anyone tells you that today, don't be afraid of him. Like
Don't be afraid of him.
that dude's a con man, right?
He's a con man.
Yeah.
He's puffed up with his own brain.
Mm-hmm. And so this passage it's talking about Jesus. Jesus is the prophet like Moses. It's also a little bit talking about all the prophets that come, like the Elijahs and Elishas.
Oh, yeah.
It's talking about those, but it's ultimately Jesus. Jesus was a prophet. He spoke on behalf of God because he was God.
I know, man.
And so this gets brought up a good bit throughout the Bible and kind of echoed back to this moment.
I think a historical thing to talk about next in 19 is the idea of the cities of refuge and just how different that world was.
Oh, yeah.
So when they went into Israel, they had to make roads to certain they had to build roads without stumbling blocks, which we get this word stumbling block. What is actually a stumbling block? Do you know?
A block that you might stumble over.
It's a tree trunk.
Oh, yeah.
And so, or anything.
Yeah,
a stumbling block is something you would trip on.
Yeah.
And the reason that...
Can't be tripping.
So, if you go back to this day, they had to build all these roads so there would be no stumbling blocks. And these roads had to go to certain cities of refuge. And a city of refuge was a place where the avenger of blood could not kill you.
Yeah, so if you accidentally killed someone, or maybe
on purpose killed
or
someone.
on purpose but you might have like a just cause or something.
Yeah,
you have a place to go, and he can't kill you there.
He can't kill you there, and it is his duty to kill you.
Yeah.
So that's that. So imagine that.
Yeah.
This is the weird thing. If you're out in a field. This is Bible time. You're working out there, and you're holding the ground, and a dude starts saying, "Hey, you're on my property," and it's like, "No, man, I'm on my side of the boundary stone." And then he swings his hoe at you, and you duck, and you smack him with your hoe, and this dude dies.
Yeah,
his brother is morally obligated to kill you.
Yeah,
and so what you do is you run.
Yeah,
you run as fast as you can to the city of refuge.
Isn't that wild?
Yes, so that the avenger of blood can't kill you, and you cannot leave until the high priest dies.
Yeah.
And so if you do, then the avenger of blood can hunt you down and kill you.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You're like, why were they doing this? Dude, they didn't have no police.
There's no prisons.
There's no
jails.
prisons. There's no jail. And it's hard to imagine a world like that.
Yeah, it is.
But that is how it was.
It's better than anarchy.
Yeah.
About everything is better than anarchy.
Almost everything's better than anarchy. So they would run to these cities of refuge. And the stumbling block was like, the dude literally might be chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
He literally might be after you. And you can't have a rock in the road where you fall down. You got to have a clear path.
This is our shot at justice here.
Yes.
In the ancient world.
It's wild.
Yeah. Due process.
Yeah. There was no due process.
Yeah, exactly.
There kind of was.
Yeah.
You could if you captured him, you could have 2 or 3 witnesses. But this is like, there was nobody there but me and him. I can't make my case, and I'm going to die for this.
Yeah. There's another neat passage in chapter 20. It's on rules for war.
Oh, yeah.
And he says this. This is before they go out.
Yeah.
The officers are to address the army. Has any man built a new house and not dedicated it?
Going home.
Yep. Let him leave and return home.
Just marry a wife?
Otherwise, yeah. And it says, otherwise he may die in battle and another man dedicate it.
Yeah.
Has any man planted a vineyard and not begun to enjoy its fruits? Let him leave and return home. Otherwise, he may die in battle and another man enjoy its fruit. Has any man become engaged to a woman and not married her? Let him leave and return home. Otherwise, he may die in battle and another man marry her. And it says, the officers will continue to address the army and say, is there any man who is afraid or cowardly? Let him leave and return home, so that his brothers won't lose heart as he did. When the officers have finished addressing the army, they will appoint military commanders to lead it. And so that's when they go out. What's the deal with that?
Well, there's some mercy in it, and there's some mercy in it with the. I'm trying to there's two things actually. One is there's a mercy in it. If you got a guy who's just got engaged and you don't want all your young dudes dying before. You get a chance to have kids and live a little. It's like, let these young guys live. It's kind of the opposite of what we do today.
It is, yeah.
So they wanted a little bit older people that had lived a little. The second thing is they didn't want no cowards in their formation because they recognized that bad morale from one guy can lead to bad morale from many guys.
Didn't want someone looking over their shoulder, too, the whole time, like wishing they were back at home.
Yeah, wishing they were back at home. Like, so it's like basically... stay home if you're going to be a weenie. We don't want you there.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much
There's
it.
one other thing I think in it.
Oh, what's that?
Is that the Lord doesn't need them.
Doesn't need them. Oh, absolutely.
That's the big thing. It's like, who in the ancient world can say stuff like that? Like, send anyone home. They don't do that.
This is why...
they're grabbing them up out of the gutters, man.
Yeah.
And the Lord's saying, nah, you can send them home.
You send them home. We don't need
It's like you get to Gideon.
Yeah, that's what...
he's like...
Which is, if you don't know Deuteronomy...
We want, in Gideon, they end up going to war with the village idiots.
Yeah.
Drinking out of the river like dogs.
No, the ones that drank out of the river like dogs went home. It was the ones that cupped their hand.
No, it's opposite.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I might have to look.
Yeah, look at Judges. It's the
home.
opposite. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's the whole point of that passage in Judges. Yeah. What was it, Judges 6 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Calls Gideon, and after the fleece, selects the army in chapter 7. Let me find the reference. Separate everyone who laps water with his tongue like a dog. Do the same with everyone who kneels to drink. The number of those who lapped with their hands to the mouths was 300 men, and all the rest of the troops knelt to drink water. The Lord said to Gideon, I'll deliver you with the 300 men who lapped and hand the Midianites over to you, who lapped like dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah, he picks the idiots. Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, it's like he picks the idiots. So anyways, where was I? In Deuteronomy 19 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. 20, chapter 20. So the Lord don't need these men. He don't need these people.
No, but the process before that that he went through is the Deuteronomy process. God told Gideon to do it.
Yeah.
He's like, tell anybody that's scared they can go home.
Yeah.
He had like 10,000 guys or something. It was a bunch. And he was like, if you're afraid and you're a big old weenie, go home. And like half the dudes were like, we're out, dude. Peace out. And then Gideon was like, oh no. He's like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Send the rest of the guys home.
Yeah.
Anybody that has the wherewithal to be aware that they might get attacked while they're drinking water, send those guys home.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's wild. So that's chapter 20. Do we got more stuff in here? Let me see if I got anything else. Oh, we get to a section with some laws and some captured women. We'll probably do that next week.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That's
well,
kind of a tough section.
It's also, and it's also like give them a chance too. If they're outside of Canaan and you get in a fight with them, you can offer terms to the city.
Oh, with the wars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, man, if they surrender to you, don't kill them.
Yeah.
They can serve you as forced labor.
Yeah.
But don't kill them.
Yeah.
But then you get into the law of the women if they don't surrender.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that one next week.
Yeah.
Okay? There's some tougher parts in that. All right, you guys tune in next week. We will see you then.
Bye-bye.